I'm O.W. Root, and this is Upper Peninsula. It's that time of the year again. Leaves are all over the ground. I'm sick. It's also that time of the year. You always get sick right when it starts getting cold, or at least I do. And that means that the rakes are coming out, and the leaf blowers are coming out. And I have to say, I hate leaf blowers. Does anybody really like leaf blowers? I'm serious. Yeah, I know they're easier. Yeah, I know they're quicker. I know you can take care of a backyard 25 minutes with a leaf blower. But has anybody sat on their porch or in their living room or been outside throwing the football around, the frisbee or anything, and heard someone letting a leaf blower rip and thought, what a lovely sound of autumn? No, it has not happened once. It cannot happen because leaf blowers stink. They are noise pollution. You know they're noise pollution. It's just an irritating sound. And I don't really know which one's worse. I mean, maybe we all have our own opinion here. There's the electric ones that plug into the wall, or I guess they charge. And then there's the gas-powered ones. The gas-powered ones sound more intense, but I guess there's a power there. So maybe I want to respect the sound more than the little whining of the electric ones. I don't know. They're both bad. That's the truth. But I get why people use them, because they're easy. But this isn't just about hating on the leaf blower, although I could just be hating on the leaf blower. The leaf blower versus the rake. I talk about this every year. I've thought about this every year. I think about it every single year when I see people raking and I see people blowing their leaves. They represent two different experiences in nature and relationships to nature. The leaf blower is efficient. It is modern. It is useful. It is helpful. It is... Listen, you have a huge yard. You look out there. You got a rake and a leaf blower. Yeah, you want to pick the leaf blower because it's going to get it done fast. And it does sort of represent a real firm, I guess, conquering of nature in some sort of sense. You are so far above the leaves. You're blasting them with this thing. It's just merciless. I mean, you might as well be a nuclear bomb. These leaves are just decimated. They don't stand a chance. So there's something powerful there. That's what the leaf blower means. It means modern technical society, really. The rake is different. You know, the rake, you are connected with the leaves. You're raking much more. Every pull that you make with that rake, all the leaves that you drag, you feel each one. You feel it in your muscles. I mean, really, you rake a huge yard, you're getting a little bit of workout. Not a huge one, but a little workout. And the more leaves you rake, the heavier, the more pulling you're doing. It's similar to the push lawnmower. And I don't mean the push one that's gas. I mean the manual one that they used to use in the old days. You can still get these. And that's also a very personal relationship with the grass. You hear the grass being cut. You really hear the leaves being raked. And there's a sound to the sound of leaves being raked. And it's so much different than the leaf blowing sound. The leaf blowing sound, you can't even hear the leaves moving at all. All you hear is the whining. It doesn't matter if you are wielding the leaf blower or you're across the street listening to the leaf blower. The rake is different. You can hear them when you are doing it, and you can hear it when someone else is doing it. You know that sound. A couple houses down, kind of walking through it, kids jumping in it, sound of screams, good screams. That's, the rake is traditional. The rake is more human. It's harder. It is objectively harder. And I understand why someone might use the leaf blower. But I think the rake is spiritually superior in some sense. If you can rake, it's better to rake. It even gives you a little workout. It gets you out there. It gets you warm enough where you can, as I say, you take your coat off, take your sweater off, you just got your shirt on. It's 40 degrees and it feels right because you're raking. That's a nice autumn feeling. An alien cult in the eastern UP? Yeah, it existed. Let's roll the video.
Warren Gates. He led an alien cult here in the eastern UP. It was the 1970s. They built a spacecraft, a flying saucer. They'd meet the mothership in Lake Huron one day and disappear into the dark abyss. That was the plan, allegedly. A new source of energy in the cosmos had been discovered by none other than Gates. But man wasn't ready for the knowledge. Not yet. Not yet.
So that video is pretty spooky, right? Kind of creepy. You got to get a little creepy on Halloween. It was fun making that video. It's creepy subject matter too. And you can't find out much about this subject. This is back in the 70s. So you got to think of the Eastern UP back in the 70s. There was no national attention in the Eastern UP. This cult was never big enough to garner any attention of any sort. You don't have social media. So you just have a group of people who are part of an alien cult in Detour Village in the Eastern UP, right across the water from Drummond Island. This cult was led by a guy named Warren Gates. Like I said, it's really hard to find out information about this. You have to collect the information from weird websites and forums on the internet. People claiming that they were there and providing so much information that that they had to have been, I guess. Some old newspaper clippings, and even a copy, or some copies, a few pages from a book that the leader of this cult wrote, called The Intelligence of the Universe Speaks. Warren Gates wrote this in 1974. And in The Intelligence of the Universe Speaks, he discusses flying saucers he had seen, his powers of clairvoyance, how Atlantis was destroyed by a cold sun, and fireballs that had invaded his home and nearly killed him. He talks about a lot of other things as well. He believed that he had discovered a new power, a new energy, a hidden energy in the cosmos. Allegedly, he had met or contacted aliens before in the past as well. These are his beliefs. And what he did in his cult was build a flying saucer. Build a flying saucer in a pole barn up in the Eastern UP. And the aim for this flying saucer was they were one day going to tow it out into Lake Huron, where they would meet up with the mothership. And I guess take them away to the starry abyss in the sky, away from an impending apocalypse that was coming to Earth. That's the story of the Warren Gates cult. It's about as much information you can find out there. And the thing that's fascinating about this is, they loved cults in the 70s. The 70s was full of cults. And I think there's a lot of reasons why there were a bunch of cults in the 70s. It was sandwiched in between the end of the mid-century, the 60s mid-century, and before the electric, technological, futuristic 80s. The 70s is like a no man's land. It's like a liminal decade. It was weird, it was wild, it was gritty. So of course there were cults. There's something also interesting about the space. Of course there was a cult in the Eastern UP, the UFO cult in the Eastern UP. Just like, of course, there were King Strain on Beaver Island 100 years before, almost, not quite 100 years, but almost 100 years before. And then the House of David sect, cult, whatever you want to say, on High Island, right by Beaver Island as well. Those are in northern Michigan, Lake Michigan, in northern Michigan, but Lake Michigan. Well, this is right up by Lake Huron. It's still up north, middle of nowhere. There's something about cults, supernatural belief, weird and out there intuitions, just bizarre stuff, and the middle of nowhere. It's like you can't believe this stuff, or you won't believe this stuff, or you won't get into this stuff if you're in the midst of the city. It's like when you're far out, beyond the sound of traffic, beyond the lights of any other houses. Reality seems different. The ceiling seems higher. Anything could happen. So of course, where would an alien cult come about in Michigan? Eastern UP. Wouldn't happen anywhere else. I'm O.W. Root for Michigan Enjoyer.